This project will affect Lindenwood students, business owners, and private residents of Drosty Road. They were present at the open house to express their concerns.
The app is called Yik Yak. It allows users to make posts with others within a 5-mile radius. Lindenwood University security keeps a close eye on these posts to prevent any issues on campus. The Association of American Universities surveyed 27 schools. The results found that 20% of female undergraduate students have encountered some type of non-consensual sexual contact on campus.
It's homecoming week here at Lindenwood University, and there's many events going on. One event is the annual lip sync competition.
Governor Jay Nixon made a statement on Monday saying screening refugees is the federal government's job. This statement is a result of the terror attacks in Paris. Nixon didn't mention whether he should block Syrian refugees from settling in Missouri.
This project will affect Lindenwood students, business owners, and private residents of Drosty Road. They were present at the open house to express their concerns.
It'll be complete reconstruction of the road, so all the pavement, all the existing pavement that's on site already will be removed and completely replaced.
Although the project is supposed to be beneficial for the city, Nino Du Ankara, a resident of Drosty Road, believes that this project draws in a negative side.
Well, basically what it's going to do is take 10 feet off of front lawn and render our driveway useless for the time being.
Ankara also claimed that the city of St. Charles didn't notify him or the other private residents of Drosty Road about the changes being made on their front doorstep.
We have federal funding on the project, so there are certain limitations on, when you can talk with property owners.
It saddens me at the fact that even though this is a St. Charles City project and the St. Charles City government is supposed to be on the lookout for its residents, that they totally bypassed us, quite honestly.
The city has just begun the design phase for this project. Construction is set to begin in August of 2016. Here in St. Charles, for LUTV News, I'm Michelle Sproat.
The app is called Yik Yak. It allows users to make posts with others within a 5-mile radius. Lindenwood University security keeps a close eye on these posts to prevent any issues on campus.
Yik Yak was launched as an app for iOS and Android in 2013. Since then, it has made its mark on the campus of Lindenwood University.
You can connect with other people anonymously, and you can learn what's going on, and you can keep up with all the campus info.
Andrew Allen Smith is a media literacy professor in the Lindenwood University School of Communications. He thinks that Yik Yak could serve as a positive tool on university campuses in particular.
Because of that 5-mile radius, it makes perfect sense for students to communicate with each other.
But this communication is anonymous, which could result in false threats.
I have heard about people on this campus creating false reports of their cars being broken into, or someone being mugged last year, I know, was something, and then it all ended up being fake.
Threats like these force Lindenwood security to monitor the app and ensure the safety of the campus.
Any type of threat is going to be investigated towards the university or students. We investigate those.
Bowman sees the appeal that draws students to the app.
I have Yik Yak myself, that I can monitor things that go around here, monitor things in my neighborhood, see what's going on.
Professor Smith says that the idea that users being anonymous was to discuss news or ideas that they may be hesitant to share otherwise.
It brings a lot of strange elements out where people know they're anonymous and they know that they're able to speak freely in that way.
I'm one of those people. There's some things that I say that I wouldn't necessarily say if you know who I am.
Head of Security John Bowman also recommends to be cautious when posting on social media because once the post is out there, it's there to stay. For LUTV News, I'm Michelle Sproat.
The Lindenwood men's water polo team hosted a tournament this past weekend at the Recplex in St. Peters. Although the Lions were split into an A and B team, they ended up competing against each other. Jordan Sachs, a player on the B team, explains why this matchup was beneficial.
When we had a fixture against our A team, we mixed up the teams and we had a pretty even game.
The team's biggest competitions at this tournament were St. Louis University and Washington University.
We've had some good competition. SLU coming into the tournament was probably our hardest game, but then WashU beat them early on in the tournament.
The WashU team's a very good program. They've been together a while. They're a good, strong group. I mean, last year they were a rival team. They got third in conference. The year before that, they also got third in conference.
The Lindenwood B team took on Wash U in their last game of the tournament. Although the score at the final buzzer indicated that the Lions lost, a discrepancy in the scorebook led to questions of the final score.
Someone on the scoreboard added 2 extra goals by mistake onto the scoreboard. So when at the end of the game, when the refs checked the game sheets, there was 2 extra goals added onto the scoreboard that weren't reflecting on the game sheet.
The referees called us back in, and we played not sudden death, but we played 2 3-minute quarters, and we just couldn't hold on at the end.
Although the B team's final game ended in a loss, the team remains positive for upcoming contests. For LUTV News, I'm Michelle Sproat.
Coming up on LUTV News, a home in St. Charles is in shambles after a car crashes through the front wall. Was anyone home? We'll have the story. Plus, the number of sexual assault crimes on college campuses is growing. Find out what Lindenwood University's security team is doing to keep students safe. And when will the traffic headaches end? Find out when the 5th Street construction project will be complete. Those stories plus sports, weather, and more ahead on LUTV News. Welcome to this edition of LUTV News. I'm Michelle Sproat. An early morning car crash left a home dismantled. The crash happened at the corner of Kiskers and Towers Road in St. Charles. 3 adults and 1 newborn baby were present as the car drove into the bedroom. None of them were injured in the accident. Neighbors state that there were 14 rescue trucks at the scene. It took about 45 minutes to cut the driver out of his car, and there's no further information about the driver at this time. A man will be spending a year and a half in federal prison for disabling a St. Louis Police Union's website. A judge sentenced 33-year-old Justin Payne Monday. Payne conducted a cyber attack last year as a part of what St. Louis authorities call Operation Ferguson. The operation was an effort to support those protesting the death of Michael Brown. Payne pled guilty to a felony count of possessing an unregistered firearm. He also pled guilty to a misdemeanor count of damaging a protected computer. 2 students from 2 different universities are both facing charges. This after police say they made threats to students via social media. Police arrested 19-year-old Hunter Park from Lake St. Louis. They believe Park was in Rolla when he posted the threat to Mizzou students. Park is a student at the Missouri University of Science and Technology. In another case, police arrested 19-year-old Connor Stottlemyre of Blue Springs. They say he made threats towards Northwest Missouri State University in Maryville, where he was a student. Both threats were posted on a social media app called Yik Yak. The Association of American Universities surveyed 27 schools. Their results found that 20% of female undergraduate students have encountered some type of non-consensual sexual contact on campus. Lindenwood University was not a part of the survey. However, the security department started a dorm watch program to raise awareness. Lindenwood security officers go dorm to dorm each semester to go over safety tips with the residents. 4 St. Louis taxi drivers are suing Uber and seeking second-class action status. The drivers claim that they've had a 40% dip in business since Uber began operating throughout the city. If the suit receives this class action status, it would cover over 1,000 cab drivers. The drivers are licensed by the St. Louis Metropolitan Taxi Cab Commission. The commission vetoed Uber's request to work in St. Louis back in September. Construction on 5th Street in St. Charles has officially reached the halfway mark. The $10 million project is expected to be completed in 2016. Changes on 5th Street are being made between Boonslick Road and First Capitol Drive. The main outcome of the project is to make the street a full interchange similar to the one built at Mid-Rivers Mall and I-70. Recent reports indicate that the project is scheduled to be completed on time. Straight ahead on LUTV News, a local homeless shelter is being forced to move. Find out where it will relocate coming up after the break.